it only for engineers and architects that basic knowledge they should have, or any student who has passed 12th can also join this course?
Anyone, see, Mahavastu drives the courses. Anyone can learn Vastu courses.
So, like you mentioned, Apple. So, are they also doing Vastu consultations over there? Is it popular concept out of India also?
Each place has got a different name or terminology.
You talked about the water element. That it's about flow. Mention or tell us a few more elements that come into play. How does air come into play? Yeah, how does Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi?
Yeah, so air is a vitality. It's for the growth.
So there was a very popular Kand which happened in the Upahar cinema Kand where the people got burned.
Yeah.
So was it a Vastu defect or a technical, civil or construction defect?
Okay. There will be multiple things to it. None of the Vastu dosha or any incidents which is happening positive or negative, you cannot attribute it to one aspect.
Vastu modifications work in small spaces also because people are staying, sometimes in 1 BHK studio kind of things, and even the factory places, they're so cramped up.
It works in any space because this is a angular division method.
वास्तु खराब है इसलिए प्रॉब्लम आती है या प्रॉब्लम आती है तो इट्स एन आइडेंटिफिकेशन. अभी उसको ओके कराने से वास्तु दोष ठीक हो या कहीं और की एनर्जी को चेंज करेंगे तो वो रिजॉल्व नहीं हो पा रही, रिजॉल्व हो जाएंगी. हाउ डज दैट वर्क?
प्रॉब्लम्स आर एन इंडिकेशन, ओके, और इट इज लाइक द सिम्टम्स को दिखाता है.
Coming back to case studies, there are factories where the laborers will repeatedly go on strike, or there is a lot of unrest with the staff leaving and all. Is it also a Vastu dosh?
Yes.
Or is it the management problem?
That is also because of the southwest imbalance.
Also, factories में sometimes what happens is orders आते हैं, but बैंक से support नहीं मिलता. Why does that happen?
ये लोग नॉर्थ वेस्ट जोन में जाके टॉयलेट बना देते हैं.
कभी ऐसा हुआ आपके साथ, आपका कोई रिलेटिव एडमिट हो and you went to see him in the hospital and then you realized you made them shift their hospital?
Yes. He was in a hospital, he was recovering, discharged, घर पे गए.
Some hospitals have reputation of many cases going bad. Is it the Vastu or the doctors?
His energy also will be negative.
अगर हम hotels या hospitality sector में जाएं, वहाँ तो सब rooms का वास्तु almost same होता है, एक के ऊपर एक placed है. So how does Vastu work there?
Let's divide it into two things. One is your rooms wala hotels. Another one is the restaurants.
What if the reason your business feels stuck is not strategy? What if the tension in your office is not your team? And what if repeated breakdowns, delayed payments, or low conversions are not random events but patterns? And what if those patterns are quietly embedded in the very space around you? Today, we are stepping into a dimension most leaders rarely examine: the possibility that environment influences outcomes in ways we don't consciously measure. So, to explore these questions and dive deeper into this perspective, help us understand this. When we talk about space influencing performance, where does that even start? Is it the direction, design, geometry, or something even more foundational? Health, disease, hormones, stress, and systems. But over the last 2 years, alongside practicing medicine, I've been studying something quieter: astrology and occult sciences. Not as a blind belief, but as inquiry. Because life is not biochemical. It is not also mechanical. There are patterns, there are rhythms, and there are these invisible frameworks that ancient systems attempted to decode. And in that journey in my astrology class, I met someone interesting: a civil engineer by qualification, an MBA in marketing, and someone deeply trained in technical structure and material logic, yet equally curious about the dimension of energy, alignment, and sacred spatial intelligence. So instead of inviting another doctor to the platform, I thought, why not explore something out of the box? What happens when engineering meets energy, when structure meets symbolism, and when mythology meets management? Joining me today is Acharya Mahesh Seka, a civil engineer and business and factory Vastu strategist with over 25 years of experience in construction ecosystems and enterprise advisory. He works with factories, corporate spaces, and high-value enterprises, not just through technical precision, but what he calls spatial alignment. In my own journey, I have become increasingly interested in exploring dimensions beyond health and disease, the finer intricacies, the subtle systems, the environmental influences that may quietly govern clarity, productivity, and growth. And this episode is a part of that exploration, not to convince, not to preach, but to inquire. This is Mindful by Dr. Tarana, where we explore not just medicine, but the multidimensional nature of life. Thank you so much for coming and being on this show. अच्छा आचार्य जी, टेल मी फ्रॉम वेयर डिड योर वास्तु जर्नी बिगिन? आपका पहली बार बीइंग एन इंजीनियर वास्तु में इंट्रोडक्शन कैसे हुआ?
First of all, namaste, Tarana ji, for having me in this show. Uh, Vastu journey, I would first like to give a gratitude to my guru, Dr. Shri Bansal, because of which currently I am a Vastu consultant के नाम पे मैं जाना जा रहा हूँ. Otherwise, I am a civil engineer. I started my journey from 2000 into the field of engineering and then did my MBA in marketing. Or I was into the construction business, and the journey to Vastu was like an accidental journey. It was not an informed decision that I wanted to get into Vastu. When we are construction or designing of any projects, we usually encounter the Vastu consultants coming. And one of the project, I had a Vastu consultant coming and asking for multiple changes of doors. As a designer, as an engineer, we always have the doors aligned towards the wall. It may be moving towards the left or right, but it is always towards the wall. But in this particular project, we had most of the doors aligning towards the left side. So the uh, Vastu consultant came and said, no, this is as per Vastu, it should be towards the right. So, and as an engineer, as a designer, I cannot have the doors. So we suggested to the client that let's do a sliding door. And we had to redo the whole thing, what was put, remove it, restructure it, and replaster, repaint. It was like, 90% of the project was completed and we are redoing everything. And I had asked, okay, there will be a cost implication. My mistake was I didn't give the actual estimate to the client. And at the end of that, I gave him the final bill. Because he's saying, जैसे वास्तु वाला बोल रहा है, you do that. Now when वास्तु वाला is telling, of course, I also was not aware much about this, we coming from the analytical background, technicality, जो बोल रहा है चलो कर देते. And this client says, no, I'm not going to pay you this 4-5 lakhs. I can't. And I was wondering, Arey, for you, we did the changes, and a guy who has charged you 30,000-40,000 that was something which was not acceptable to me. Then I said, I need to know this so that I can counter any of the future Vastu consultants coming and doing such kind of damages to me. So that's where the journey started. And today I am from a non-believer to a professional Vastu consultant.
वो 5 लाख का फटका चाहिए था उसके लिए.
Possibly, yeah.
As you know, you've also said that you are amongst the panel of teacher where the university is planning integration of modern education with the Indian knowledge system. So what is that about? Tell us something about it.
I was very well connected with my university since my education was over. So my director, who was my MBA director, became the university vice chancellor. So I get a call from the vice chancellor's office saying that there's an Indian knowledge system which is going to be implemented in almost all the universities. So NITTE University, which is based out of Mangalore, so they invited me to make a presentation and they liked it. And we are implementing a Vastu course for the faculties, students and engineers who are civil engineers and architects who are going to be the future engineers. So this is going to be a part of the curriculum. So it's going to be launched from the next academic year onwards. So.
Okay. So one thing, is it only for engineers and architects that basic knowledge they should have, or any student who has passed 12th can also join this course?
Anyone, see, Mahavastu drives the courses. Anyone can learn Vastu courses. But if you want to become a professional practitioner of Vastu, there is a Acharya course or a serious level of functioning, or else a Mahavastu experts course. But by doing just the basic courses, you can do corrections in your house. But if you want to implement it into others' houses and give them the desired results, then you need to become a little bit more professional, and more practice is required.
Plus, if you have a technical background, then you won't do such impractical changes.
Yeah, another thing, engineers and architects having a knowledge of Vastu will help them design the future buildings in a very energy synchronized way. Everything is about alignment. If the energies of the place is good, then only that place will thrive. You would have seen a lot of buildings which are like, there's people flocking, especially in a retail space or a restaurant or for certain products. Let's take about Apple or Some of these products, even before the products are launched, people are just flocking.
Right.
Correct? There is some energy.
Okay.
Innovations to sab log kar rahe.
So, like you mentioned Apple, so are they also doing Vastu consultations over there? Is it popular
See,
concept out of India also?
each place has got a different name or terminology. Vastu has originated from India from 12,000 years, and it has gone to China, Southeast Asia. Then it has moved to Europe, and now in the US. But nobody will call it as Vastu there, but they all align their office space, or their innovation centers in such a way that they get those desired results.
Right.
So the terminology might change. It is basically energy synchronization, and all this happens with the concept of 5 elements. Your balancing of the 5 elements. When these 5 elements are in synchronization, then the results are what you are expecting.
Okay, so to a layman, it may just occur like a mumbo jumbo. Elements, 5 elements in a factory, how do they play the Panch Mahabhuta?
Yes.
So, if we want to break it down to a level where a common person can understand that how these Panch Mahabhutas play, suppose we are talking about a factory.
Yeah.
So, tell something more about it.
See, what is the factory? Typically, factory is a transformational space where a raw material comes, it gets processed, and an output. The output is a product which either goes for a consumption to the end user, or it is to the next process. Like iron ore goes, transforms to a steel plate or a steel girders and everything, which goes to another. But if you go to production of soda or this thing, it's an end consumer product. Now, where your machines are kept, how your machines are placed, what is the transformational core process? Because multiple times what happens is the core process of the business is kept in a very wrong zone. In our working, what we do is there's a 16 zone concept.
Okay.
Okay. From the center of the space, we divide it into 16 main zones. And in that 16 zone, each zone has its own attribute.
Okay.
Like north, when we talk about this, I think everybody will be understanding the north is for opportunities. And north is governed by water.
Okay.
It's the flow.
Okay.
Now, the flow can be water. Flow can be by the formation of a color also, a blue color. Flow could be the machine's flow also.
Okay.
Anything, whatever is you have these conveyor belts, which is again a flow.
Okay.
So these are the things, we analyze it. Now, for a new factory, we can set it up based on these concepts. But for an existing factory, we cannot go and say, boss, this is not there, you move it from here to there. So what we have is a non-destructional, or without any changes, we do the elemental corrections. That is, elements are these 5 elements, Panchmahabhuta corrections, using either metal strips or colors or light or whatever is suitable for that, without doing any kind of a structural or mechanical changes there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you talked about the water element, that it's about flow. Mention or tell us a few more elements.
Air is a vitality. It's for the growth.
Okay.
Okay. The plants.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially with plants, brown color. All these are the air elements. Air will.
So you need to keep plants in your factory and at
You-
a particular place also, or you can plant
See,
them anywhere.
you can. I would say where you shouldn't keep, rather than where you can keep, because there are multiple zones you can keep, but there are very few zones where you shouldn't be keeping it.
Okay.
Okay. Just to add to the factory or to a politician or for any person, air gives you social connectivity.
Okay.
Okay. Or entertainment. Now, where it shouldn't be kept is in the southwest zone.
Okay.
Southwest is the zone of stability,
Okay.
earth element.
Okay.
I always give this example when I teach Vastu to people, so I'm just adding it. You have a earth, the plant breaks the earth and comes out.
Right.
So whenever you have green or a air element in the earth zone, that is in the southwest zone, then that is a totally no-no. It will break relationship, it will break stability. So I'm talking about 2 elements.
You're right.
One is the air element and the earth element. Similarly, from the air element, you generate fire, Agni. And fire is the most important of, all elements are good, important, but for a human being, the whole transformation system started with fire.
Right.
Because of fire, we cook. Because of fire, we, have the engines, we have the factories. So the fire element for a human species is a very important. This in Ayurveda, Jataragni.
You're right.
When the Agni is having a problem, then so the fire balancing, and a fire should be balanced. It cannot be more, it cannot be less. Now fire zone is south zone,
Right.
and in fire zone, whenever you have blue color, or you have black color coming there, or water coming there, then that creates the fire problem. What are the fire problems? Your cash flow, liquidity, money, name and fame.
Okay.
So all these things are related to fire element. Then from fire is your ashes or the earth element. Earth is stability. Stability, person's growth. We say, okay, इसके बात करने में बहुत गहरापन है. Very stable talk. The person is very stable. The stability of a country or stability of anything you go with the credit ratings saying this is a stable company. That means their Southwest is very strong. What do you mean by Southwest being very strong? Southwest is a zone of skills also.
Okay.
The most skilled people are managing that company and everything. After the stability zone, Southwest, the earth element. And typically, one of the very misconceptions what we see is, people saying, okay, you can have heavy things there. Yeah, of course you can have heavy things because that's the earth element, but it shouldn't have the green things there.
Okay.
Yeah. That is the reason in the past, if you would have seen a lot of places, you have the water tanks in the Southwest. Water, below the ground is water.
Okay.
The moment it comes above the ground, it becomes a heavy element.
Okay.
Like glass mein pani hai, bottle mein pani hai, it is heavy.
Okay.
So that is why you have water tanks in the Southwest.
Okay.
And next element is your space element. Space, when we say, we also relate it to metals and to your precious metals also, as well as your diamond, which is transparent and this thing. Space gives you expansion.
Okay.
Space is like you are a company or knowledge. Knowledge is an expansive thing. So space element is again governed by the west zone, or west zone is governed by space.
Okay. Has it got something to do with the Brahmastan?
All these zones are connected to the Brahmastan.
Okay.
Brahmastan is like the nabi of a
Center,
person.
which you said, that you mark a center,
Correct.
that is the Brahmastan.
Brahmastan again is stability.
Okay.
So our guru always says, the palaces or the houses which had a central courtyard opening.
Okay.
Central courtyard used to be there, exact central courtyard opening where the water used to fall to the center. Those kind of kingdoms or the palaces actually vanished over a period of time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought they were good.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. We have in the South India, I come
In
from.
fact, even in South India, there are houses which have a
Tarawad
central
houses.
courtyard. So
Courtyard.
it's not good to have those kind of houses.
See, we exactly, if you mark exact center jo aata hai, that shouldn't be open to the sky.
Okay.
Yeah. There will be untimely death, there will be, I don't want to put all these fear factors, but it is not advisable. You can create a central courtyard with one covering on top of it.
Okay. Means you can put a
Sunshade
sunshade or
yeah,
glass,
correct.
this dome kind of a thing,
Yeah.
but don't leave it open.
Don't leave it open.
If you put a dome, then it removes the dosha?
Yeah, it removes the dosha.
Okay. So ideally, if you want an open space, you should put it in corner of a house because there are
Corners
shafts.
like north or the east side.
Okay.
Or you move it from in exact center ke badle. We design houses where we give the, some of these places they want. So we take it off center, give it at the east or the north side where water is allowed.
Okay.
See, it is not only air which is coming, it's water is coming in there when it rains.
Right.
Yeah. So center jagah pe, that is the basically Brahmastan or what is the center of the house. If there is constant water coming, then it becomes a mushy place.
Right.
Yeah. Which could lead to a lot of problems which people have ignored or they are not knowing because of this it happens.
Right. So
And there is a research to back this.
Right. So like there are case studies in medicine, there are case studies in Vastu also?
Yes.
You do case studies? So there was a very popular Kand which happened, the Upahar cinema Kand, where the people got burned.
Yeah.
So was it a Vastu defect or a technical, civil or construction defect?
Okay. There will be multiple things to it. none of the Vastu dosh or any incidents which is happening positive or negative, you cannot attribute it to one aspect. But one of the major aspect what we have seen for any fire incidents, uh, which happens not only that kind of cinemas or any area in a factory or anything, is there is these entrances. There are 32 entrances. I told about 16 zones. Each zone has got 2 entrances,
Okay.
of which 9 of the entrances are good entrances.
Okay.
So 32 minus 9, 21 entrances needs treatment. They are not favorable entrances. I would not say that. No, but southwest entrances or south-south entrances, we totally avoid it. Now there is a particular entrance called the E1 entrance. Typically people say northeast entrance,
Okay.
or Devamula entrance, which is typically in the South India we all follow. Okay, northeast entrance is very good, but northeast entrance has one entrance called E1 entrance, which could lead to fire incidences or theft. Now entrance doesn't mean only the main door. Wherever a person can go in and out forms as an entrance.
Okay. Even the bedroom doors? Okay.
Not internal doors, like घर
Okay.
के बाहर
आंगन
जो-
में जाने का रास्ता हो
हाँ,
गया या courtyard
courtyard.
या okay.
like bungalows have multiple back door is there, or from the nowadays you have the sliding doors in the bedroom.
Right.
So from the sliding door you can go out. So that also forms as an entrance.
Okay.
It's not only the main door.
Okay. And in flats there are in
Balconies
flats
which are facing towards the roadside.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the backside balconies? They
Backside where you don't have a road access, मतलब
Okay.
आप ऊपर से देखोगे तो road नहीं दिख रहा है, then that doesn't form as an entrance. But
Okay.
again, we don't go by those principles. We ask what are the problems you're facing. Based on the problems, we provide you these solutions.
Okay. Okay.
99% of the time, the energy would have got balanced from the person's nature or the colors what he has used or things what they have done there. But sometimes what happens is this becomes anti. When it is anti, then the problems will crop up.
Okay.
And when the problems are cropping up, you need to arrest it. First thing, like in a doctor's profession, is diagnosis.
Right.
Yeah. So our diagnosis happens in a very technical format where we ask for the floor plan of the house or for the factory or for the business. And then we take the exact degree. Our precision of degree measurement is to a 1 degree precision. I'm being very, technical on this. Another thing is we do the analysis of those 16 zones. Based on that, we give you the solutions.
Mhm.
It's not that we stand in center of the house and say, okay, ये सही है, ये गलत है, नहीं है. Drawing होता है, उसके बाद bar chart बनता है, where each zone energy is measured, all the panchbhutas, what is the energy which is missing, whether it is relating to your problem, whether it is a problem from the space or from the astrology. We ascertain that and then provide you solution. And these solutions are not like, today we give and it is over. So like we monitor it for 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
It comes in a layer wise.
So, what about in metro cities where the space is really very less? Can Vastu modifications work in small spaces also? Because people are staying, sometimes in 1 BHK studio
Yes.
kind of things, and even the factory places, they are so
Tiny.
crammed up. So, how does Vastu help in that?
It works in any space because this is a angular division method. Okay. When in an angular division method, you are going in a circular way.
Okay.
And each 32 entrances में भी एक entrance mark होगा. Then zones which are cut or which are extended, we typically use the metal strips or the colors to treat it.
Mhm.
So this can work in even a space of 10 by 10 also.
Okay.
Yeah. We have done Vastu for students studying abroad for their only hostel room and got them jobs.
Okay.
Like when they're finishing their course, they have to get a job to be abroad there. So,
देयर इज अ पैराडॉक्स ना कि मुर्गी पहले आई या अंडा पहले आया. सो लाइकवाइज इन वास्तु कहते हैं ना कि बिकॉज वास्तु खराब है इसलिए प्रॉब्लम आती है या प्रॉब्लम आती है तो इट्स एन आइडेंटिफिकेशन. लाइक किसी किसी घर में ना सीलन है या बारी बारी ड्रेन पाइप कहीं से तो लीक करता है, वो बॉल में आने लगती है ना, स्पेशली द सोसाइटी फ्लैट्स की दीवार में सीलन आ रही है, यू गेट इट रिपेयर्ड, स्टिल इट्स नॉट ओके. सो अभी उसको ओके कराने से वास्तु दोष ठीक हो गया, कहीं और की एनर्जी कुछ चेंज करेंगे तो वो रिजॉल्व नहीं हो पा रही, रिजॉल्व हो जाएगी. हाउ डज दैट वर्क? बिकॉज यू आर एन इंजीनियर एंड वास्तु एक्सपर्ट बोथ.
okay, I would put it in this way. Problems are an indication, okay, or it is like the symptoms को दिखाता है वो, कि as long as we are all fine, healthy, do we go to a doctor? No. So only when the problem crops up, then we go to the doctor. Now the problem could be for a very long time because of the eating habit, because of various things. Similarly, in a space, problems will arise because of things which you have done, things which you have kept. Now, a very good thing to tell here is the marma points. Marma is like in our body, there are these pressure points. All these people who are in medical field will know that, particular जगह पे दबाओ तो यहाँ पे दर्द जो है यहाँ से निकल सकता है. So there is a lot of pressure points. Similarly, in the space also there is pressure points. So that pressure point, especially in the northeast, if you put a nail, which can impact the head of a person. Now you will not know. Everything is going fine. One day you would have done some puja and the Barji will say, ये लाल कलर के कपड़े में इसको नॉर्थ ईस्ट में टांग दो. So you will put a nail and put that nariyal in that northeast zone, which can lead to your head related problems. Now, will it happen, not happen? Depends on where you are putting that nail. Exact particular मरमा पे आपने डाल दिया तो 100% problem होगा.
Oh my god, that's scary.
No, it is not. Basically, we never know. But that is the reason we say you don't put too many nails or, these red color things in the northeast area. Because
Is it about the nail or the red color thing?
both.
Okay.
Combination of red is fire element which is in the water zone.
Okay.
Again, elemental. So everything. Now, what is coming first? First, we don't know what has come, but problems are the symptoms which is showing you कि यहाँ पे देखो, everything is moving good. Nobody is bothered about it. And to add to this point, there's a lot of guys who say, our life is really good. We don't believe in Vastu. We don't want Vastu and everything. I say, if your life is really good, then you should really look at Vastu. Because you are buying more property, you are investing more. One negative property which comes to your life can ruin the whole thing which you have done over 30, 40 years. A lot of cases are there. Not to fear anyone or scare anyone. We have seen a lot of industrialists who have been doing extremely good. All of a sudden they go and buy some sick unit or they buy some unit and invest into it, and all of a sudden the whole cycle goes topside down.
Okay, then there is this convention also, especially in North India, I don't know about South India, that few locations are particularly, prohibited कि भाई या South West वाला घर या factory तो नहीं लेना है, या basements के ऊपर there is a lot of commotion कि basement में अच्छा है या अच्छा नहीं है. So give us some insights on that.
You've been to Singapore?
No.
Singapore में आप जाओगे, most because they don't have a land space, they have done everything at the basement level, which goes up to around 8 to 10 floors below.
8 to 10 floors?
Below.
Okay.
So how do you define कि Singapore is thriving or not thriving?
Singapore kids have the highest instance of myopia. No, I'm talking
Yeah,
about children's
medical.
health. Yeah.
That could-
Highest instance of children wearing glasses.
Yeah.
That's there.
Correct. But at the same time, the economy is growing, people are thriving. So, जो basement related issue है, that again depends where the basement is going. Like we discussed, southwest. अगर आप basement को south में कर रहे हो, southwest में कर रहे हो, that's a problem then.
Okay.
Okay. Basement is not a problem. Where the entry to the basement and exit to the basement is provided, that will create the problem.
Okay.
So there are basement as such. In our study, there's a lot of companies which have operated from a basement. When they grow up, of course. But if you look at the country which ruled us for almost 200 years, the palace has got basements. The United Kingdom, the Victoria Palace has got basements.
From London, I just came across a reel yesterday where he was showing a swimming pool in the basement, and it was convertible. You can, just raise the platform and you can make it a floor, and you can press a button and it goes 7 feet, this thing, 7 feet down, and it gets converted into a pool.
Yeah. So there is a lot of things. Basement is not an issue because a lot of companies operate, every building will have a basement. So basement का उतना नहीं है, उसका जो entry exit दिया जाता है, energy flow है ना again. Where you're giving the entry exit, that makes the difference.
And in basement, I've seen a lot of sealant kind of issues
That
that
is-
they come, seepage and...
That is the technical issue. As an engineer, I would say, oh, you don't do proper waterproofing or, a technical thing, then there will be a problem of seepage and sealants.
Okay, going 10 feet down is again, even if I talk about the places here, even the basement, which is a single story, you'll always find seepage problems there. That's because of waterproofing, or the water table is high and then...
Water table could be high, and, you need to work on a different technology to seal that water from there.
If the water table is
Yeah.
high. So Singapore, are the water tables low, or their technology is
Their
different?
technology is, different level altogether. When we talk about the basements or, the sealant jo aa raha hai, you told about the water seepage and everything, it's an engineering thing. It has nothing to do with Vastu for that matter. It is how, the structure is being water treated. Now, if you look at Mumbai Metro, there is this aqua line which goes almost 30 kilometers, which is done with the waterproofing. There are stations, there are retail outlets, everything is there underground.
Okay.
So, basement mein, the water table increasing or everything is an engineering thing which needs to be addressed.
Okay. Now coming back to case studies, there are factories where the laborers will repeatedly go on strike, or there is a lot of unrest with the staff leaving and all. Is it also a Vastu dosh?
Yes, yes.
Or is it the management problem?
Two things. Of course, management problem will be there, but that is also because of the southwest imbalance and the southeast. Your labor is governed by your particular zone. Not only in the factories, but also in the houses. If you have a frequent maids not coming up, the helps not showing up, then your southeast is disturbed.
Okay.
Even factories to southeast, when it is disturbed, then you will have all these problems of laborers, people leaving you, you have strikes. Southwest is another zone, and none of these Vastu dosha is because of one zone, one particular zone. There will be minimum 3 to 4 zones which act in or in favor or in against a particular zone.
अच्छा, factories में sometimes what happens is orders आते हैं but बैंक से support नहीं मिलता. Why does that happen?
See, primary zone for a support is northwest zone. ठीक है? ट्रेडिशनली क्या हुआ है कि बहुत सारे फैक्ट्रियों में ये लोग नॉर्थ वेस्ट जोन में जाके टॉयलेट बना देते हैं. ओके, टॉयलेट इज बेसिकली ड्रेनिंग ऑफ. सो बैंकिंग सपोर्ट जो मिलता है वो मिलता है नॉर्थ वेस्ट जोन जब बैलेंस होगा. सो अगर आपका लोन पास नहीं हो रहा है, बैंकिंग से इशू है या गवर्नमेंट बॉडी से इशूज हो रहा है, दैट इज बिकॉज योर नॉर्थ वेस्ट इज नॉट बैलेंस्ड और यू हैव टॉयलेट्स इन द नॉर्थ वेस्ट जोन. Most of them only look at the entrance and everything. Here, very important thing is आपका toilet कहाँ है, toilet pit कहाँ है. All these things also plays an important role in any business. Because जो भी staff toilet है, most of the factories which we have visited, I see is these guys have these toilets in the northwest zone. वहाँ पे दो चीज़ों का प्रॉब्लम होता है. एक तो वर्किंग कैपिटल का प्रॉब्लम होता है, दूसरा जो है कॉन्स्टेंट जो अथॉरिटीज़ हैं उनका प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है. प्राइमरीली हर बिजनेस को रन करने के लिए कैपिटल की ज़रूरत पड़ती है और वर्किंग कैपिटल की ज़रूरत पड़ती है. मोस्ट ऑफ देम पुट द कैपिटल. वो लोग कैपिटल कैसे भी अरेंज करके बैंक से लोन लेके या फैमिली से लोन लेके बिजनेस तो स्टार्ट कर देते हैं, फैक्ट्री तो स्टार्ट कर देते हैं, बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू द वर्किंग कैपिटल दे फाइंड इट वेरी डिफिकल्ट. सो इसके लिए ये जोनल बैलेंसिंग बहुत ज़रूरी है. अनदर थिंग इज वेयर द ओनर इज सिटिंग. Now I said na initially that it is not one zone, it is multiple zones which plays an important role. ये जहाँ कहाँ पे भी नॉर्थ वेस्ट में टॉयलेट्स पाए गए वहाँ पे साउथ वेस्ट में ओनर को बिठाया गया. ओके, साउथ वेस्ट के बाजू वाला जोन जो है साउथ साउथ वेस्ट है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अ डिस्पोजल जोन. सो अगर इफ यू आर नॉट लुकिंग एट अ प्रॉपर डिग्री एंड यू आर नॉट डूइंग अ प्रॉपर ड्राइंग ऑफ द प्लेस एंड मार्किंग द साउथ वेस्ट एंड द साउथ साउथ वेस्ट, unfortunately that owner sits in south southwest and his locker and desk and the logo everything is in south southwest. तो वो तो dispose होता ही रहेगा. So to come to a profitable level you need to have a balance of multiple zones, and these can be achieved with very simple remedies or simply just shifting the table from one zone to another zone. ऐसा नहीं है कि he has to break everything or he has to change the office. And even for those toilets which is there in the northwest zone, by doing the metal strips that can get resolved.
Okay. So any particular metal strips are there, or they also vary according to the consultation or the client's chart?
There are 2 metal strips or 3 metal strips per particular zone which can be used depending on the energy of that particular zone, not the chart wise, but energy of that particular zone. Like I said about northwest toilet, if the energy is balanced there, then we use a MS strip, that is iron strip.
Okay.
If the energy is low there, then we use a brass strip.
Okay.
So these are the two strips which we typically use. If it is still very high in extra high energy, or that zone is extended extremely, then we use a aluminum strip. So it all depends. See, Vastu is not like यहाँ पे वो जो होगा वहाँ पे same होगा.
One size fits all नहीं है.
नहीं है. It is basically very customized based on the need, based on the requirement. ये जो I'm also today talking on a podcast, but बहुत सारे लोगों ने उसको they have given a very wrong information. People see the YouTube videos or this thing and try to do Vastu corrections themselves. It is like you have some disease or some kind of uneasiness in your body and you are doing self-medication. I would always say.
Or your mobile phone has gone bad and you're trying to repair on
Correct.
your own instead of going to
Yeah.
the technician.
So it is better to go to a professional consultant and know that, okay, what is the corrections which is required to be done.
I think one constraint is also like, in medicine, okay, tentatively, these will be the charges when you go to a doctor or a consultant. Because there is such a disparity in the amount of fees that would be taken. People don't know, they have doubts, should we go, should we not go, what if जैसे आपको 5 लाख का फटका लगा, हमें कितने का फटका लगने वाला है.
Yeah.
So that is one big thing. So somebody who wants to get a Vastu done for his factory or his home, how are the charges decided? Is it like per square feet like you do in construction?
Yeah,
Or
see, in our case, who are professionals now working on this, most of our consultation fees are per square feet basis.
Okay.
So the more the area, the prices get negotiated. Otherwise, if it is a small area, the prices are fixed.
So suppose it's a 2,000 square foot house, then what should it
See, typically it could be around 100 rupees to 200 rupees a square feet.
Okay, and for a factory?
Factory, it varies
Okay.
because the size of the factory, the location of the factory, where the factory is, what kind of products they are doing, what is the turnover they are doing. I consult factories starting from 5 crore turnover to almost around 12,000 crore turnover companies. So
Okay.
each number of factories, number of units.
Right.
In factories, there is a different thing. There is a built-up area, there's an open area.
Mm.
In open area also, they will have, some of them will have the sheds or the labor camps or something like that. So each thing will go in a different way.
Mhm.
So factories and everything is more custom made, but you can look at it, knowing the house rate, it will be a little more than that one.
Okay. See, actually, I think one more thing that's there, you were talking about, a lot of Vastu videos on internet. Is there any, we are talking so much about energy. So is there any measurable thing that, the person can measure on their own also for things that have started to work or things that were not working? Like वो ghost वाली videos में दिखाते हैं, there is a device and if there is a ghost around, it will, give certain frequency or show certain frequency, the needle will start showing. So is there any such devices for...
See, as Vastu consultant, we use a lacquer antenna, which is used for measuring the energy of a particular place or particular zone. And as a layman, I would put it in this way कि आपका प्रोडक्शन सही नहीं जा रहा था, आपका प्रोडक्शन में लॉसेस हो रहे थे, वेस्टेज ऑफ मटेरियल. In 3 months' time, if your wastage of material is coming down, that means you have achieved that result. So most of the time, people, in our cases, the results are visible. And when we talk about most of these companies, we are talking about their balance sheets directly. Companies which was making a 50 lakh loss per month is now making a 1 crore profit per month. As I mentioned earlier, एक अच्छा case मैं बताता हूँ आपको. We had a company which had gone to NPA, non-performing assets, and the notice was stuck on the door of the company, and then the owner asked me कि कुछ कर सकते हैं क्या? I said, see, we will do the corrections, but you have to do 100% of whatever we are asking you to do. If you are saying that I will do only small things, no. Then he agreed. We started working with them after the notice was stuck. That time the company was at 3 crore turnover and almost 12 or 15 crores to be paid to the bank. And what we found was they had a whole pile of wax. They are manufacturing these export candles.
Okay.
Whole pile of wax in the center of the factory.
Okay.
So when that was removed, slowly the energy shift happened. And today that factory is doing a 40 to 50 crore turnover with the profitability, which was supposed to be closed 3 years back. That is the transformation.
Okay.
So this is in short when we are talking, but of course a lot of work has happened over a period of time there, and they're reaping and it is done once.
You were mentioning about some antenna that you use. I also read about some device. It's like a aura camera or something. It was priced at 1,70,000 something. There were some guys from Gujarat or Surat. They were demonstrating it. I could not go. I wanted to see what it is exactly. Are there any such devices? Like there are devices to measure aura also.
There are
Some cameras.
some cameras and this thing. I am also not exposed to it. But let's put it in this way. The feeling what you get when you meet a person, that is the aura of that person, correct?
Right.
Some people you feel good, some people you just want to avoid them. That's the aura of a person.
Right.
Now the aura of person, can it change? Yes, it can change if the person is really working on it. Some places, how do you measure the aura? You would have seen these devices which shows the extension of a person, like energy dissipation. Energy meter cameras or devices are there.
Right.
Like if I hold against this wall, it will show me how much of energy is there. A mobile ke against kitna energy. Same devices can be used for people also.
Okay. Coming on your this thing energy, so it happened with me for the first time only. So there was this hospital in Greater Faridabad. So I'd gone to meet a doctor for this podcast thing. That was the first time I felt anxious in a hospital. I'm a doctor. I go to hospitals all the time, but more than a hospital, it felt like a mortuary.
Yeah.
Like when you visit a mortuary, what kind of energy you have. I was not sick. I was not going to get my treatment done, and the hospital was crowded. It just struck to me, what is the outcome of patients in this hospital? And I just got scared thinking that. I don't know out of the blue why that thought came. But do you think the Vastu of the hospital affects the recovery, or where the ICU is placed? How does that impact the patient outcome?
This is a very what do you call very important topic, I would say, because a lot of people put their hospitals. The main purpose, again, everything goes with the purpose. The purpose of a hospital is the speedy recovery of the patient and the minimal mortalities which should happen. Now the hospitals, like what you said, where the doctor sits, where the ICU is placed, where the recovery ward is placed, everything will matter. Now, does that mean that existing hospitals you need to do again a structural change? No. But new hospitals can be devised in a very systematic way. Especially if you would have gone to some Babas who just by giving the water also, they can treat some people.
Right.
Correct? Or let me talk about doctors only. Some people will say that that small doctor in that nukkad gives the medicine, my fever or any diseases is recovered. Why? He is sitting in a particular zone called NNE, Health and Immunity Zone.
Okay.
Yeah, NNE zone में जो doctor उसका जो दवाई देगा, that because it is aligned to his profession. So that doctor, when he gives the medicine, it acts well on the patients.
Okay.
So if you have
the same medicine will act differently depending on the zone of the
if you keep the medicine in SSW, that is a disposal zone, कितना भी medicine का वो आप ठीक नहीं होगे.
Okay.
There are some hospitals which, how much ever you go to that hospital and get your treatment done, you are not recovering. You will be only going there.
कभी ऐसा हुआ आपके साथ, आपका कोई relative admit हो and you went to see him in the hospital and then you realized, oh my God, this Vastu is really
I have done that.
bad, and you made them shift their hospital?
Yes.
Explain or tell something about that incident.
My mom's brother, he was admitted to a hospital. Initially he had UTI, urinary tract infection, and he was in a hospital. He was recovering, discharged, घर पे गए, and some problem happened, and instead of taking to the same doctor, they took to another doctor. And when I went there, that doctor was only talking about some kind of injections and everything, and I didn't get a very good feeling. And I told, no, I want him to be discharged. And no, are you a doctor? Will you take the risk? I said, I'll give it in writing. If he is here, he is in more danger than So please discharge him immediately. So I've done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some hospitals have reputation of, many cases going bad. Is
Mm.
it the Vastu or the doctors?
Both.
Both.
See, the person sitting in that particular place and doing that operation, his energy also will be negative.
Okay.
He may be a good doctor, right? To reach to a surgery level, he would have practiced and he would have gone to that level. But because he has changed the space or got into a different location, he is not able to deliver what he is capable of delivering.
जैसे कहते हैं ना नक्शा पास होता है
Hmm.
एंड देयर इज एन अथॉरिटी जो नक्शा पास करती है. यू थिंक वास्तु शुड ऑल्सो बी मेड मैंडेटरी जब भी कोई बिल्डिंग का नक्शा पास हो, हॉस्पिटल का नक्शा पास हो, स्कूल का नक्शा पास हो?
Yeah, it's a topic. Yeah, actually, yes, if it can be done, it will be good. But people have a very different view, saying that this is all faith or this is this thing. It is.
When
If
the talks are already on for integrating,
Hmm.
Indian knowledge system with the modern
Modern.
education, I think this can also be
It
implemented
can.
going down the line.
If not implemented, the people who are getting their house done, who are getting their factories done, they can insist on that. Instead of the government implementing it, you should actually, because it's your money. You are the one who's investing into it. You are the one who's going to use it. You are the one who's going to live in it. Correct? A hospital be private hospital. Okay, government hospital का तो बात अलग है. But private hospitals are done by a private investor. There could be two motives to it. One is to earn money, other one is to serve people.
Now, coming to you, I think we get, dual benefit. We save the, design cost.
Yeah.
And Vastu is included in that.
Yes.
So, going to a person who is both an engineer and a Vastu expert, I think it serves both the purpose and saves some money at least.
Of course, lots. See, I work with a lot of architects and architectural firm. I have, been fortunate enough to work with one of the senior architectural firm in Bangalore to design their office.
Okay.
So when we were designing there, they were moving from one office to another office, and they said, "Mahesh, अभी तो मेरे पास 60 लोग हैं, 100 हो जाएंगे." तो this, I said, "Sir, ये space will be less for you." He said, "नहीं, 40 people. It's almost, we are increasing by almost 30-35%, so should be good enough." And last week I get a call from their office saying, "Sir, the space is less for us, so we are buying one more space or taking up another place." So this is the growth what happens. Even an architectural firm, when they align, and today their projects, whatever they are doing, I have given them this insight on, don't have these toilets in the northeast, don't have entrances in the southwest, because you're working on a canvas. An architect usually is working on a plain canvas. The land is there, only the boundaries. You can put the placement of the entry, exit, toilet, entrance anywhere. If the architect is doing his job properly, a lot of things will get solved.
You think architects lack the technicality? They are good at design, but when it comes to technicality of the structure, sometimes their designs are like honky-dory.
No, I would say, see, design-wise, they're not. That knowledge of this one Vedic science or Vastu, they do want to do it. Most of them know it, but they don't want to implement it into their projects. When they're doing their own house, 100% they want to do it Vastu perfect.
Because maybe the client is not ready to pay the fees. That's an extra expense.
It is just a matter of, because I myself design, it will take, if it is taking me 1 hour to put an initial sketch, if I know where what has to come, it may take me 15 minutes more.
So do you consult on panels
For?
for this Vastu thing?
Mm.
Panel of architects or civil engineers who are designing the houses?
अभी नहीं कर रहा हूँ. I'm I would be happy to do that.
That will be a lot of workload on you.
Yeah, that I do for some of the architects,
Okay.
but not as a panel for most of the architects.
Another thing that I would like to ask is अगर हम hotels या hospitality sector में जाएं, वहाँ तो सब rooms का वास्तु almost same ही होता है, एक के ऊपर एक placed है. So how does Vastu work there?
See, hotel industry, let's divide it into two things. One is your rooms wala hotels, another one is the restaurants. Restaurant ka vastu will be different. It will be considered as a single unit.
Okay.
Because restaurant will have walk-in of customers, then they will, where the kitchen is placed, where the washroom is placed, where your cash counters are placed, where your display is placed, where your board is placed. All these things will matter for a hotel industry. First and foremost, the restaurant, when we talk about the restaurant's entry, which side the entry. Now, we cannot define the entry of a restaurant, but the fire in the restaurant has to be balanced, because fire, which gives the taste for the food, the the customer will come back for that particular food. Name and fame is created for that food from that the fireplace. Now, when we are looking at, most of the kitchens will be either in the southeast.
Okay.
Now, ideal place for a kitchen is southeast. But what we have observed is, where the kitchen is in the west or in the northwest, that kind of hotels or restaurants do extremely good.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, the southeast has to be balanced, but west or northwest is supposed to be considered as an ideal place for kitchen. The taste will be good, the name and fame will be good, and you will have a constant flow of crowd. The best observation for this would be any place where you see, a lot of crowd coming to that particular restaurant. Then you should actually check where their kitchen is placed.
Okay.
Or as a southeast is good, but northwest and west, I would say, is one of the best ones.
Okay.
And for hotels, that is where the rooms are there, then we don't consider the vastu of each room, because that is the replica rooms. Those are people who come and go. But where the lobby space is, where the entrance is, where the basement entrance, parking entrance is, where the DG is kept, the generators are kept, where their laundry room is, where their staff room is, where their staff kitchen is, all these things will be considered.
Okay.
So evaluation happens at multiple layers. It is not one layer can satisfy the the vastu of a particular thing. Again, when we talk about room wala hotels, the swimming pool, especially if you are talking about a 3-star and above hotel, 4-star, 5-star hotels, they have this swimming pool, and there's now a concept of having swimming pool on the rooftop.
Yeah.
Like an infinity pool. As per the traditional vastu, people say, okay, the water should be in northeast.
Okay.
But
The
northeast.
southwest.
No, see, you got the point now. So, because the swimming pool is coming at a higher level, it should be in the southwest. It shouldn't be in the northeast area.
Okay.
But most of them do a mistake of placing the swimming pool in the northeast area, which creates problem for this whole hotel functioning.
Okay. So suppose the swimming pool is in a basement, then it has to be in the northeast.
Yeah, basement or at a ground level.
Then it has to be in the northeast. Otherwise, if it's on the terrace.
Terrace, ideally it should be in the west or the southwest zone.
Okay. Okay.
So these small things, if people follow it, there will be a excellent business and the growth of that particular property. And in hotel industry, the rooms and all, the decor what they use in the lobby, because it's an attraction. 5-star hotels, if you look at the same 5-star hotels, one would be charging a very premium amount, other one will be charging a very nominal amount. Why is it? Because they're not able to attract that kind of a crowd.
Right.
Correct? That brand visibility is not there. Who builds the brand? South. We call it as Vivaswan. Now I'm going a little deeper into this, where we have this 45 devtas. Each devta functions like a GIF. Our guru says it's like a GIF. Like, एक light जो है चलता रहता है. So that if Vivaswan is activated of a particular property, then that creates a brand.
Okay.
Vivaswan is helpful for people who are in the media industry, who are into the film industry, all those things. That is where they create their brand and the brand image visibility.
Okay.
So restaurants, hospitality, and any business for that matter, who wants a branding to be done, then their logo or this thing, if it is put in the Vivaswan area, then that person becomes really famous.
Okay.
Now,
That's a very fancy and beautiful term that you used just now.
yeah. So this your normal vastu will not work here. You need to go in depth. You need to work with the client, and this cannot be implemented before you do all the basic corrections. So it has to go on a step by step. So a lot of clients get a lot of benefit when they do this. I have a client from where my journey started to Delhi, was from a small place called Subramanya. That's a temple town where there is a Subramanya Swami temple. It's basically for the snake serpent temple. And one of my friend has a hotel there, and that hotel was not doing that great. And I just happened to be there, and I said, hey, you've done a beautiful hotel, what's happening, and this thing. Then he said, why have you come there? I said, I was visiting. Why did you tell me? Then I'm like, okay, sorry about that. He's like, no, I don't want you to come just like this. I want you to come for a consultation. So I went for a consultation. And during the consultation, I realized their name board, because it's a South Entrance Hotel. And the hotel name was mentioned in the SSW area.
Okay.
That is the disposal, which I told you. So I had to just move that name from there to the south.
Okay.
Today, that is the top rated hotel in that area.
Wow.
Of course, they had made it beautiful. Everything, rooms are all fantastic. It's a 5-star level. And in the lean season, because during the rainy season, it's difficult to go there, they're going packed.
Okay.
So that's the kind of change what happens over a period of time. Of course, any industry, you need to maintain your service. जैसे कृष्ण बोलते हैं कि कर्म करना ही है, सिर्फ वास्तु करने से नहीं होता है, कर्म भी करना है और सर्विस भी देना है.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about educational institutions now. If we talk of schools, colleges, universities, how does Vastu play into that? Not just the number of admissions, even the kind of people you create, because that's a place where you're building the future generation.
Right.
So how does Vastu come into play?
The basic principles remain the same, but for education institutions, west-southwest zone. Okay, that's the Pushpadant zone. I mean, we're going, as I told you, the Devtas and this thing. Pushpadant is supposed to be a Devta for your education.
Okay.
So that becomes a primary zone now.
Okay.
For hospital, northeast, Aditi was the primary zone, or Apa was the primary zone. Now here, your primary zone has changed to another Devta. So west-southwest, that particular zone becomes your primary zone. So if west-southwest zone is balanced, when we say balanced, Panchatattva mein balance, no toilets, no dirt things happening, or you're not putting it as a storage or this thing, then this zone acts like a elevator zone. Most of the things, if you look at it, there are no schools or colleges which are going empty today. They have admissions, they have. But what is that a notch up? Where is the differentiating factor? Another thing, when we talk about schools and education system, when you have the west-southwest strong, the students will come up out from that particular education institute will be excellent. When they are excellent, the admissions will increase, the placements will increase, the fees what the institution can charge will increase.
Right.
So all this thing is a combination of things. I would say every institution, whatever is going to serve the people, should follow the Vastu principles, because from a technical background, from an engineering background, management background, today most of my clients say, sir, आप वास्तु करते हो कि मैनेजमेंट के ज्ञान देते हो? I say both.
Both नहीं, आप तो 3 ज्ञान वाले हो ना, मैनेजमेंट, वास्तु एंड इंजीनियरिंग. पूरा त्रिशूल है आपके पास.
Oh, thank you. It's really blessed that I was introduced to this Vedic wisdom, which is a very, very vast. I'm just a tip of iceberg. When you look at it, if you go to the Vishwakarma Prakash, which is 12,000 years old, Vishwakarma is considered as the architect for the gods. The
स्वर्गलोक की निर्माण करा था ना उन्होंने.
So all the gods also needed an architect to design their palaces, design their place. Now when you talk about Indraprasth, what we say, all those things was done by Vishwakarma. Now not going in depth to those things, we'll keep it very simple. Now like if you talk about Vastu Purush, they say, okay, you do Vastu Purush ka puja. Puja will have a very limited, I'm not saying it doesn't have, it has a very limited time span. Okay, आपको एक particular time span तक वो पूजा आपको infect करेगा. You're not doing a Vastu Purush puja every now and then. But if you are aligning your space with the 5 elements, the Panch Mahabhutas are taken care, your Vastu Purush is already aligned. You are balancing the things and keeping. The only thing which my guru also says we don't have a control is the lifespan of a person. Because that is one thing which God has kept to him and God will keep to him. No one person can say that, okay, I will change your lifespan. Neither I will change your destiny also. Your destiny is good. I will become a channel to help you get into that destination. I am not the guy who is doing Vastu for you or because of me you are going to grow. No. You are going to do your work. I am just helping with your energy to be channelized into the right zone. That's all.
Acha, you just talked about lifespan. Being a doctor, I have this question in my mind. We talk of Akal Mrityu.
Mm.
So Akal Mrityu is also destined,
It's also destined.
that he has to go before time.
Yeah.
All the accidents, all the untimely deaths, the suicides, or the energy balancer can change that.
Not much.
Not
If
much.
it has to happen, it will happen. Not under our control.
So, people
You
get
can- you
treatment
can
for
help-
depression or suicidal
Yeah.
tendencies.
You can help people for depression, but suicide ka, yeah, untimely death, accidents, till death, it's not
So
under our control.
one major aspect of treating for depression is the person does not go into suicide. So irrespective of whether he's treated or not being treated, will he still commit suicide if it is written in
see,
his
you
chart?
also know astrology. So
That's why all these questions.
Yeah. So if उसका होना है तो होगा ही. That's where we are saying it is not in my.
Prarabdha hai.
हाँ, प्रारब्ध.
Okay. So while talking about astrology, you said 32
Entrances.
entrances. How does those 32 entrances align with 45 devtas? Yeah, what is that? Where does that 45 figure come from? Ki why 45 devtas?
Okay, we will take this up as I think a separate subject altogether because each zone again is divided. 32 entrances का 32 देवता हो गया. Okay, that is very easy for you. From Brahma, there is 4 main zones.
Okay.
East zone का, north का, west का, south का. Like north is Buddha, west is Mitra, south is Vivaswan, and east is Aryama. So then you have those attendee devtas
Okay.
to them. Then there are the peripheral devtas.
Okay.
So there is a different science to that. अगर हम उसको एक simple तरीके से बोलना है, it is like the Vastu of any place starts getting formed the time you put the foundation, and when you start covering it with the slab, the Vastu energy will keep on changing, like how a egg transforms to a fetus and from a fetus to a human body. So same thing happens in the space, the energy transformation.
Okay.
और अगर कोई भी building unfinished है, which is you're not, or there is unnecessary delays, these are all because of Vastu dosh.
Unfinished building से तो एक और बहुत क्वेश्चन आया दिमाग में दैट ये जो अनफिनिश्ड बिल्डिंग्स होती हैं या कुछ बिल्डिंग्स होती हैं ना जो पॉपुलर हो जाती हैं एज हॉन्टेड प्लेसेस, क्या सही में उनमें भूत आके रहते हैं?
नहीं, वो वास्तु दोष है, because there is an imbalance in the energies there.
स्पेशली जो लॉक्ड प्लेसेस पड़ी होती है बहुत टाइम से, दे से कि दे बिकम हॉन्टेड या वहाँ पे हर तरह की एंटिटीज आके रहने लगती
हो
हैं.
सकता है, because see, as positive energy is there is negative energy also. ठीक है, आप जब कोई भी रूम, अगर आपका खुद के घर को अगर बंद करके रखते हो, the moment you enter there is a positive ion concentration increases in that particular place, which makes you really stuffy, sluggish. ठीक है, अगर सिंपल रेमेडी है सॉल्ट थेरेपी करना, या तो सॉल्ट बिछा के उसको
या हवन कर लो.
हाँ, या हवन कर लो. But there are certain places where you feel the energy is very low. I was looking for a couple of places for a client of mine, and they took me to a building, and I was like, the moment you enter the building, you have the kind of a current flow होता है.
जैसे मैं हॉस्पिटल में बोल रही थी कि मेरे को ऐसा लगा मॉर्चरी आ गई.
Correct. I just said, and that the the vice president of the company had approved that property. I just said, and no, this is reject. बिल्डिंग बाहर से अच्छा दिख रहा है, बट अंदर जाओ तो वो एनर्जी एकदम लो है.
अच्छा, हम बॉलीवुड मूवीज़ में देखते हैं ना, जिन घरों में किसी ने सुसाइड करा हो, अनटाइमली डेथ हुई हो, किसी का मर्डर हो गया हो, सो वो प्रॉपर्टीज़ बिकती नहीं है, उनके रेट्स भी नीचे आ जाते हैं, एंड समटाइम्स दे आर इनहैबिटेड बाय प्रेट्स और things like that. So have you ever encountered in your own practice going to a place that was जिसका ऐसा कुछ history था, and what were your vibes about that place? Were they inhabitable, या जहाँ पे किसी की मौत हो जाए इस तरह की untimely?
मौत जो है ना, it's a part of life. बहुत सारे लोगों का डेथ हो जाता है. It's not that we stop living there in that
डेथ नहीं,
particular.
लाइक अनटाइमली या सुसाइड या कुछ, तो क्या वो घर नहीं लेने चाहिए, क्या वो प्रॉपर्टी नहीं लेनी चाहिए एज अ वास्तु
उस पे करेक्शन करके लेना.
ओके.
उस पे पहले तो करेक्शन करना ही ज़रूरी है, बिकॉज वो अगर हुआ है तो कुछ ना कुछ तो एंट्रेंस इफेक्ट रहेगा, उनका डिप्रेशन का इशू रहा होगा. तो विदाउट दैट दीज थिंग्स विल नॉट हैपन ऑल्सो, मैनिफेस्ट ऑल्सो. और मैनिफेस्ट ये जो होने के लिए 2 things will come into play. One is your astrology and another thing is your vastu. तो दोनों का कॉम्बिनेशन के साथ ही ये होता है. सो लेना ना लेना, जैसे बहुत सारे क्लाइंट्स हैं जो बैंक से जो ऑक्शन हुआ प्रॉपर्टी लेते हैं, बट उसको लेने के बाद हम लोग उस पर करेक्शन करके ही उस पर नया डेवलपमेंट करते हैं.
Okay.
जैसे वन ऑफ माई क्लाइंट हैज बॉट अ ऑक्शन प्रॉपर्टी, नाउ ही वांट्स टू बिल्ड अ कॉर्पोरेट ऑफिस, देयर इज ऑलरेडी अ एग्जिस्टिंग बिल्डिंग देयर, ही इज लाइक कैन आई सेड नो, यू उसको पहले ग्राउंड लेवल पे लेके आओ,
Okay.
उस पे
पूरा डिमोलिश करो.
करो.
Okay. There is no solution या इसमें कुछ
नहीं,
remedial
क्यों?
measure.
अरे देखो, आपके पास अगर पैसा नहीं है तो डिफरेंट बात है. आपके पास पैसा है, आप इसको आपका कॉर्पोरेट ऑफिस बनाना चाहते हो, आप 500 करोड़ से आप 1000 करोड़ लेने के लिए सोच रहे हो, तो ये है ना, 1-2 करोड़ तो देखना नहीं चाहिए. यू शुड, बिकॉज खर्चा तो उतना ही होने वाला है, बिकॉज और जो पुराना बिल्डिंग को सही करके उसके हिसाब से बिठाना जाओगे, यू आर कॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग योर एनर्जीज ऑन टू इट.
Okay. नहीं तो आपने वो बिल्डिंग देखा होगा, वो प्रॉबेबली फिट नहीं लगी होगी ना आपको, बिना देखे थोड़ी ना आपने ये बोला होगा.
या दैट इज.
एंड हाउ डू इंडिविजुअल चार्ट्स प्ले इन वास्तु, लाइक आपके जो बर्थ चार्ट्स या जिसे हम कुंडली बोलते हैं, हाउ व्हाट रोल डू दे हैव टू प्ले इन डिसाइडिंग द वास्तु ऑफ अ फैक्ट्री और अ बिजनेस और अ होम?
We primarily look at the 2nd, 7th, 10th and 11th box.
Okay.
उसका जो प्लैनेट्स है, उसका जो राशि है, उसका जो डायरेक्शन है, हर एक राशि का एक एक डायरेक्शन है. तो बेस्ड ऑन दैट उसका एंट्री कहाँ होना है, उसका कैबिन कहाँ होना है, उसका बैठने का जगह कहाँ है, उसका कोर प्रोसेस जो फैक्ट्री का जो कोर मेन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशनल जहाँ होता है वो कहाँ होना है, उसको सब हम लोग डिसाइड करते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर मैं कैंडल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का ही ले लूँ, तो उसका जो कोर प्रोसेस है मेल्टिंग, और उसके बाद पोरिंग. बिना वो रॉ मटेरियल आया, उसको वो लोग मेल्ट किया, उसके बाद पोरिंग, यही कोर प्रोसेस है. बाकी सब तो एंसिलरी है, जैसे उसका पैकेजिंग हो गया, ये हो गया, ये कोर प्रोसेस सेट कर दिया तो कंपनी अपने आप चलने लगता है.
What all other factories have you done? जैसे आपने बोला कैंडल की.
हमने तो ऑटोमोटिव कंपनीज के जो OEM सप्लायर्स है, स्टील जो बिल्डिंग बनाने की सरिया बनाते हैं, सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनीज हैं, तो एज आई टोल्ड यू, देयर आर सम ऑफ दीज कंपनीज आर इन थाउजेंड्स ऑफ करोर्स एंड दे ग्रोन मल्टीफोल्ड. मतलब जब स्टार्ट किए तो फ्यू करोर्स इनटू, अगर फैक्टर लगाएंगे तो मल्टीप्लायर ऑफ 10 to 12, 10 to 15, ऐसा ग्रोथ हुआ.
Okay. आई थिंक इतना सुनने के बाद तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मेरे नोन में तो जितने भी लोग हैं सबको मैं बोलूँ एक कंसल्टेशन तो ज़रूर लो. इट वॉज ब्यूटीफुल हैविंग दिस कॉन्वर्जेशन विद यू, वेरी इंसाइटफुल. मुझे भी बहुत सारी नई बातें पता चली. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर बीइंग अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस शो एंड एजुकेटिंग आवर ऑडियंस अबाउट वास्तु.
थैंक यू वेरी मच. नमस्ते.
Namaste. As we close today's conversation, I want to leave you with this thought. Mindfulness is not only about sitting quietly, it's about becoming aware of the invisible influences shaping our lives, whether they are mental, emotional, or architectural. Perhaps growth is not always about doing more, sometimes it's about aligning better. So, if today's conversation made you think differently about the spaces you live and work in, I invite you to continue this journey with us. Subscribe to Mindful by Dr. Tarana, share this episode with someone who might benefit from it, and let me know your reflections in the comments. Thank you for watching. Stay aware, stay aligned, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.